I just got done doing hours of research for this video. I went over 210 different attacks to find out which attacks fail the most often, which attacks 3-star the most often. I went over 210 attacks and broke down all the 3 stars, all the fails by percentages, and I'm going to be hooking you guys up with that information right here, including attacks we got to quit using because they are absolutely failing almost all the time. And then, closer to the end, guys, I have got an insane revelation about the hybrid attack strategy, so be sure to hang in there for that. Now, surprisingly, man, one of our very first losers here on this was Yeti Bat attack strategies, and I had a pretty decent sample size for this. Out of these 210 attacks, 10 of those attempts were Yeti Bat attacks, and every single one of them failed. That's a 0% hit rate. Now, in reality, is it really 0? No, it can't stay can't stay 0 forever, because we know some folks succeed with it sometimes. I made a video on it not that long ago. I kind of feel bad now because, oh my gosh, it doesn't succeed very often. So if you're thinking about a Yeti Bat attack, maybe look for a Yeti Smash instead, because the percentages are much better on Yeti Smash. However, we're going to get to that in just a sec. We're going to talk about one of the losers, other big losers this time around, and that was Electro Dragons. They were also at 0% success rate in this sample size of 210 attacks. Once again, definitely not 0 in reality, but they're obviously not succeeding very often, at least not in the higher levels of play against good bases like you're going to find inside of Champions 1. So Yeti Bat attacks, E-Drag attacks are some of our early losers. So we talked about Yeti Bats failing almost all the time. On the flip side of that, if you're looking at a Yeti Smash plan for a base, I would definitely use a Yeti Smash variant and not a Yeti Bat, because it's got a lot better odds of success. So, but still, it wasn't that great, guys. Yeti Smashes are not as strong as they used to be. They came in with a massive showing, I think 46 total attacks out of 210 sample size were Yeti Smash attacks, and out of that, only 17%, equal to 1 out of every 6 attacks, was actually a 3-star. So, much better than Yeti Bat, but still, against high-level bases like you're going to find in Champions 1, probably not the best attack to go with. However, Eve Check is freaking brilliant, so he's going to get this base annihilated with the Yeti Smash. In fact, we're going to go to ×2 while we just look at this beautiful thing right here. He's going to jump right into this Town Hall, and then he's going to jump right back out of it as well. Dangerous on this base too, because you got to deal with 2 backside scatter shots on the backside. I mean, he's got a couple free spells, but he's got to end up burning those right over here. He's trying to keep that Royal Champion alive through the single target Inferno. And check out this brilliant move, man. Look at this. He's going to be freezing the Queen and the Grand Warden combo, keeping that Royal Champion alive even longer. So, much better than Yeti Bat, but still, at only 17% hit rate, overall, still not the best choice. We're going to find you guys some great choices in a little bit. Friends, next we're going to take a look at dragons, all right? And now dragons with no bats, just dragon attacks, whether it was a Queen Charge Dragon or a Drag Clone or something like that. Any dragon attack with no bats did about as well as Yeti Smash, honestly. Ended up exactly the same hit rate, but a much smaller sample size of 17%. Remember, that's equal to 1 triple out of 6 attempts. But that one does have a much lower sample size. Now, one of the surprising things that I saw was that even though Dragons only had a 17% success rate at getting 3 stars, Drag Bat fared quite a bit better with quite a bit bigger sample size and ended up with a 40% success rate, which is pretty darn good if you've got a nice big sample size. So if you're looking at dragons for a base, you might want to figure out a way to work bats into the plan, because drag bats looks like they have 23% greater chance of succeeding than just dragons alone without the bats. Let's see how Sir Longsword gets this done. Looks like he already took care of that hero Tsui while I was kind of blabbering on a little bit. The sweepers, it's covering just the edge, not much. He's still going to get a nice shot. Actually, he managed to get like every single one of his dragons into that sweeper range. That's crazy. He's got so many dragons loons coming in here. Those loons are tanking the scatter shot, so they're not hitting that big group of dragons all at the same time. He's got that Grand Warden ability covering all of his dragons, all of his loons, and very importantly, the blimp. Check out this blimp coming through. What has he got inside there? Looks like more loons and another dragon. Most of the dragons moved out of the way of that blast in time. The loons even got enough out of the way where most of them survived as well. Now we got bat spells swinging in on the bottom. We don't have a single splash damage defense until this wizard tower all the way up here. Man, this is a nice bat wave, man. Oh, look at that. That wizard tower went down, no problem at all. This wizard tower is being tanked by a dragon. He's got to watch for that dragon to go down. Oh, no! No! The dragon went down in that wizard tower. It turned around mid-shot and cooked that group of bats before he had a chance to get that spell down. Oh, man, took out a big group. But luckily, those bats had slipped. They had already split. He had more bats left. Even if those bats died at that point, though, look how many dragons Sir Longsword has got left right now. This base is annihilated with or without the bats. Now, guys, we're going to take a look at 4 attack strategies that have done really, really well. But you got to keep in mind, they had a very small sample size in this, all right? And that is going to be Mass Hogs, Queen Charge Miners, Queen Charge Lavaloon, and Queen Charge Hog Riders. Did I already say that? Miners, Lavaloon, Hog Riders. All those Queen Charges plus Mass Hogs, hard to keep track of. All those had over 50% hit rates, but we got to take that with a grain of salt because that was a pretty small sample size. Safe to say that if everybody started using those on every attack, those rates would go way down. But with the very small sample size that each of those attacks had, they all stayed pretty well, over 50%. So pretty good chance if you got a nice plan for that, you think it's going to work really well on one of those, the odds are in your favor. They're on your side. It's not doomed to failure like some of the attacks that we've talked about in a little bit. Make sure you hang in there because what I have to tell you guys about hybrid is going to blow your mind. And I looked at several different ways of doing hybrid and split up, and there's a huge difference in how much your success rate can be with hybrid depending on how you do it. Massive difference. So hang in there for that. Look at this Ixelix. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It looks cool though. I'll give him that. So many Hog Riders coming in here. 4 heal spells, 2 freezes. Oh, it's 2 diagonal tiles between the 2 scatter shots. I don't think he can quite freeze them both with 1 freeze, but he's probably gonna, there we go, starting to freeze that backside scatter shot. Make sure his Hoggies have a chance to heal back up. Royal Champion's doing good. She's got piggies in front of her. Need that single to go down. Those singles pose a huge threat to that Royal Champion as soon as the Hogs die out in front of her. Looks like he has already used that last heal spell as well, but he's got lots of Hog Riders coming in. Piggy power, you guys. Oh, man, Bacon. We got Bacon coming through. Oh, Royal Champion has been locked onto. She pops her ability, manages to get that single taken out before it can take her out. And, guys, it's just down to clean up. So, Mass Hogs, Queen Charge Miners, Queen Charge Lavaloon, Queen Charge Hog Riders. The odds are in your favor. This next one surprised me a little bit. And we're going to talk about Tsui Lalo. This one's actually a winner. Now, this was only a medium to small sample size. You know, much bigger sample size than we had for like the various Queen Charge attacks, but still not a massive sample size. So the numbers are just kind of so-so, but still, in Champions 1, 54% success rate. 54% of the time, Tsui Lavaloon tripled the enemy base's Town Hall 13. So not too shabby. So mid-size sample size, so the accuracy is still, you know, not as good as a large sample size, but still very surprising findings. Tsui Lalo is absolutely a winner at 54% success rate. Let's see, we got Ixelix in here again. We just showed one of his attacks a little bit ago. This guy's obviously got some mad skills. He's going to be Tsuiing all the way. Is he going to get the Town Hall? Freezes the Grand Warden platform. That level 50 Grand Warden platform will put a hurting on your queen real quick. Freezes through it. He's still got his queen ability. Tsui'd all the way in there for the Town Hall. My God, you guys, between the blimp and his Tsui heroes, look at that whole top side of this base. Bro, he took out like 50% of the defenses in this base with that Tsui. No! Skelly's prevented him from getting the Town Hall. Are you for real? Dude, I was so sure he was getting that Town Hall. Oh my gosh. With the haste, they should get the last drop on it. There we go. He didn't want to waste a freeze. He's only got 1 freeze left, and he's still got 2 scatter shots. He does have a Grand Warden ability, though. All right, guys, the key to this one, first of all, if just anyone goes out there and starts throwing down Tsui Lalo because it has a high success rate, you're not going to have anywhere near a 54% success rate. One of the big reasons for this is I took these samples from Champions 1, so we've already got some pretty skilled players up here. So the people that are comfortable enough with Tsui Lalo to choose to use it in Champion 1s are generally pretty good at Tsui Lalo. So these kinds of numbers are only, for this attack, are really only going to apply if you got some skills. But man, if you got the skills and you see a good Tsui Lalo plan, go ahead and go for it because the numbers are on your side. My god, dude, he's got so many loons left. He swagged the poison spell. Nothing came out of that CC. Annihilated this base. Alright guys, next up on our list, and this one, I gotta say, this one surprised me a little bit. First of all, we're gonna take a look at hybrid, but right now, we're only looking at the hybrid variation that uses the battle blimp. Now, usually, that's going to be something like a Yeti bomb, what's used right there, but I went ahead and threw into it. There's a few attacks where you send that blimp for the town hall in the center. It's got some super goblins in it, that sort of thing. So it's not always a Yeti bomb, but it's usually a Yeti bomb when you're using a blimp with the hybrid attack strategy. Now, Nicholas is going to show us how to get it done, and it's worth mentioning I had a pretty good sample size of hybrid with a blimp attempts to choose from. So these numbers are pretty darn good right here. And guys, when you used a blimp with the hybrid, the success rate was only 30%. Guys, we've already covered a number of attacks, a little bit smaller sample sizes, but with quite a bit better hit rates than that. So make sure and hang in there because, guys, the difference between using a blimp with your hybrid and using a siege barracks with your hybrid, oh, massive difference in hit rate. So hang in there for that. We're going to go over that next. Look at this, man. Nicholas took out this single so he could walk this channel. From this channel, he can reach so much of this base. My god, he can reach a scatter shot. I mean, he's got a single, but he's got a couple freezes right there. You can use one on the queen, keep your queen's ability intact. Actually, he's got the rage pre-placed. He's not even going to need to freeze the queen, so he can use his first freeze on this single target inferno, and it's going to go down no problem. Freezes the skellies in time, so his queen stays focused on the single. And look at this, queen is going to have access to this other scatter shot as well. My god, if there was ever a time to use a Yeti bomb or a battle blimp, man, it was this base. He set up the beautiful queen charge where he got to charge both scatter shots. My god, I don't even know, dude, was the eagle in there too? All right, eagle's over here, so I don't think he didn't get the eagle, but charging both scatter shots in a base, that's massive. Dude, that's so massive. Those two scatter shots together are by far the biggest threat in a Town Hall 13 base, and by queen charging both of those bad boys, there's just not much left for the rest of your troops to have to deal with. I mean, time that Grand Warden ability right on the Town Hall, and you're going to do some good things. Oh no, Royal Champion's locked onto, he rages, gets that single taken out, saves his Royal Champion's life with that well-placed rage spell. Now he's got a healer swap onto the miners, onto the Royal Champion as well. Oh my god, look at this. This is overkill, dude. He's got so many miners. Royal Champion just got healed back up to full health. My god, beautiful example of using that Yeti bomb. All right, guys, here we go, man. The difference between these two variations blew my freaking mind. I had a feeling, I kind of knew, that the Siege Barracks variant worked more than the Yeti Bomb or the Blimp variant did. I just didn't realize how big of a difference it made. So, if you're doing a hybrid with that Battle Blimp, then, you know, we just talked about how you only got a 30% success rate by all the numbers that I've run right here. But, if you're doing a hybrid, bringing a Siege Barracks, going to have quite a bit higher hit rate. In fact, 22% higher, 52% hit rate with hybrid with a Siege Barracks. Not only is it a 52% hit rate, which is lower than some of the numbers I've told you, but this was by far the biggest sample size. This was the attack that was used the most often. So the accuracy of this number, it's more accurate than all the other numbers I've given you because the larger your sample size, the better, the higher your accuracy. So with a massive sample size, we got hybrid with the Siege Barracks at 52% success rate. My god, if there is one attack you should be using basically on every single base, it's gonna be hybrid, man. And I mean, if the town hall's in an island in the middle, then you kind of have to use the battle blimp to get to that. But anything other than that, man, and I would definitely rather bring the siege barracks, because that's going to be 22%, just by the numbers, greater chance of bringing those 3 stars, and I could not believe it. First of all, first thing that really shocked me was with that big of a sample size, I could not believe that the hybrid with the siege barracks hit rate stayed over 50%, because the larger your sample size, the lower those numbers are going to go down. But remember, keep in mind, taking these numbers from many different clans inside of Champions 1. So everyone that's in Champions 1, pretty highly skilled for their clan to have gotten there anyways. It's difficult to get up there, and it's even more difficult to stay in Champions 1. Every week of Champions 1, the bottom 3 clans get booted out. The bottom 3 out of 8 get booted out. So as we go on, the clans inside Champions 1 are going to be refined to the most and more skilled. So if you got high skilled attackers, these numbers are going to hold out pretty well for you. And I could not believe the difference between hybrid with the siege barracks and hybrid with the battle blimp. 22% difference. Massive, mind-blowing stuff, guys. I hope that you guys find this information useful. If you did, click that button that's in the middle of your screen right now and subscribe to the channel. If you're already a subscriber, check out one of my other videos listed over there on the side, and we'll keep hanging out.